Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Big Trucking Tuesday. The Bonfire Racing League comes live to Talladega Superspeedway. It's season number 12, and it's our regular season finale. 13 races now culminating here at Talladega. Playoff implications on the line. This is not a win and you're in. This is a point accumulation, and it all comes down to today. Who will win the regular season championship? Will it be David Owens? Will it be Joe Volpis? Just a few points separate these two drivers, and that 12th place spot, you could tie and have multiple people there, or you could be on the outside looking in. We're three wide up here in the booth. Mean Gene, Bunny, Zach, Panzarella, and Smokin' Joe. Boys, it's crowded up here, but wow, look at all the trucks. It's even more crowded down there. Zach, what's the feeling out there?
Oh, man. I mean, whoever made this schedule definitely chose violence when they put Talladega as the last race of the regular season. I mean, there is no win you're in this league, but this is your last opportunity to get a lion's share of points, while some of your competitors can definitely be vulnerable to a bad day. So 34 trucks going to be taking the green flag here today. I'm pumped, me and Gene. I don't think I can choose a better place for us to be up here in the booth and not on the racetrack to watch an amazing regular season wrap up and get these playoffs started.
Hey, let's even make the stakes go even higher. There's a free paint job on the line. Our sponsor, Plus EV Paints, sponsoring both Daytona and now here today, the big one at Talladega 200. The person who accumulates the most points in those two races, they're going to get a free paint job from Paul Ferdiani. That just makes it even more. I mean, the trophy's cool, but the free paint job, that's a $25 cash award. So we're going to keep an eye on that. There it is, the Plus EV Paint. Big one at Talladega 200. He chose violence for sure. Hey, Joe, tell me, are all the guys down in the pits just shaking hands and sharing coffees? Or is there a little bit of rivalry, a little bit of tension going on between anybody down there?
I think things are looking pretty good. We just had a super speedway a few weeks ago in here, if you remember there, me and Gene at Daytona. We saw some aggressive moves from some guys. Some pretty chaotic finish to the race as well. I think these guys have cooled off, though, from it, and we should have a good show here tonight.
Yeah, remember, Kyle Lynott won that. David Brenner second. Joe Volpis. That was back at Daytona. So these guys with an inside look as far as accumulating the most points for the Plus EV Paints award for the two races put together. Last week, though, race number 12 of the regular season, the boys were at Iowa, and we saw the return of Jaron Valley. Mr. Victory takes one there. He was playing You Must Have Forgot by Roy Jones Jr. the whole time when he was doing the donuts. David Owens second, and part-time driver George Jewell taking third. Sad day, though, for Jared Kelly. Jared Kelly took the pole, led the most laps, and just didn't have it together there at the end, faded away. And that's also the story we saw at Talladega last year, boys. Matt Novella winning Talladega last year. Funny story, Jared Kelly took the pole, led the most laps, and got wrecked out. Hopefully, Jared Kelly's luck is going to change here today for the double nickel.
Yeah, Jared Kelly has just been, I mean, his luck has not changed since, if we're being honest. Just has not had good enough luck to really even be in this conversation. I mean, eligibility being a thing as well. But yeah, we saw it last week at Iowa, led so many laps, had such a fast truck, but was not able to take home the checkered flag. Sometimes controlling a race can be a bad thing, but here at Talladega, I think control is going to be what you want. I mean, we saw Jared Kelly do it last time we were here, but anything can happen on the latter end of this race. I think the guys that we're going to have to be keeping a close eye on this race, in this race here today are going to be Stephen Neal, Kyle Lynott, Jake Johnson, and Alex McWhorter, probably even Tommy Fox Peltz and McGivern. Again, we're at Talladega, and with those 34 trucks here today, that really is going to allow a lot of changing up in these points. That is a lot of points up for grab. You have to always remember, the more trucks, the more points available.
Yeah, 33-point swing is available here. So you got to keep an eye from Neal all the way down. I agree, all the way down to McGivern. George Jewell would be in that conversation. Not enough starts for him. But yeah, if Lynott comes out here, does a goose egg, or gets 34th, and somebody like Jake Johnson, hell, somebody like McGivern wins the thing, all of a sudden that point swing might be enough. But got to keep an eye on the rest of the boys. He would also need Peltz, Fox, McWhorter, Johnson to all have bad days. And let's not forget, that tie is on the table. If somehow these boys can tie with each other for 12th, that means more than 12 will be traveling into the playoffs. Playoffs going to be 2 elimination rounds with 2 races each until it all culminates at Chicagoland for that Final Four showdown. Can't wait to see as this thing continues to develop. Lots of drivers here today, 36 at Daytona, 34 here today. Boys making it happen here for the Plus EV Paints, the big one at Talladega 200. Qualifying going on right now on the track. Fastest in practice today going to be Edward Peltz. Guy needs a big day. David Brenner looked good. Lewis, McWhorter, Fernie Annie. Now, I know these qualifying times aren't in the draft, so somebody might be quick in the draft, but not quite as quick out there by themselves. That's the guy right there. Steve Lewis laying down a burner, currently 16th. Needs to go a little quicker here.
Steve Lewis, something that you expect to qualify well here at these type of tracks. Over in the MRL Thursday Truck Series, he started up front at Daytona last week. So he knows how to get it done, and there it is right there. Lewis on his second lap, going to get it done, and that's normally what you do see here at Talladega. But currently on the top of the board, Steve Lewis, what a lap from the 88.
Captain Crunch getting her done. Not a lot of luck for him in the Monday night race last night at Daytona in the Cup cars, but here tonight in trucks, Steve Lewis right now going to be up at the top of the poll. Here's another veteran, Tommy Fox. He has the most starts in Big Trucking Tuesday history, veteran of the league. Right now on the outside looking in, just 17 points behind Kyle Lynott. So a good day here by Fox could lead to some playoff opportunities out there in that nice looking Miller Genuine Draft Bobby Allison throwback paint scheme.
Got the chrome fix too, looking good. It was the light of God shining on that thing last week, which I shouldn't criticize. All my chrome paints seem to do the same thing, but looking really good this week. And look at that pile on McGivern now. One of the drivers we were just talking about that could that is very much on the outside looking in, but not out of it by any means on points. Also puts down an exceptional qualifying time to start over right now. If this race started right now, he'd be in third. McGivern, one of my teammates over on Thursday night, someone that I'm very experienced racing with and very good at this type of racing. So keep your eye on the 33 as well.
55.039, not very far off Lewis's time. Great run there by the 33 of McGivern. Here's Jake Johnson. This is another guy right on the edge, but he's super close, Zach. Jake Johnson only 4 points behind Lynott. So this guy has a serious chance to either move up or go ahead and tie Lynott. Also, guy ran great, took 5th in the first stage in the MRL Monday Night Mayhem last night. Came back, battled from a lap down to finish with a top 10. So this is a fella that is comfortable on the super speedway, able to recognize when there's an opportunity and when to get away from it. So this is somebody we're going to have to keep an eye on here today, Jake Johnson. Not always known for massive qualifying times, but definitely known for making a late charge in the race. I would never go against Lynott. But if somebody was going to get him, I'd give Jake Johnson as good of a chance, if not better, than McWhorter.
Yeah, he's someone we're definitely going to have to keep our eye on. A lot of these drivers on the cut line, it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive they want to be early. No fast repair available to these drivers here today, so you really only have one shot at this. You don't want to damage that truck, so you got to be careful. I mean, it's one of those tracks where oftentimes you don't get a second chance at it. The damage is terminal when you're going an average of over 200 miles per hour. And there is the 988 that we were just talking about. Kyle Lynott, always a factor here, really at any track we go to, but especially at this type of racing. Lynott knows how to get it done. He knows how to make the moves to go from the back to the front. But once he's up there, he's comfortable taking big pushes and he's comfortable throwing big blocks.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of on the line today. Of course, holding the 12th place final position for the playoffs, wants to hold court there. But also, his one win this season came at Daytona, so that puts him in prime position for the Plus EV Paints paint job, the chaos coupon, one might call it. Whoever can accumulate the most points between that Daytona race in week 7 and here today in the Talladega race. So if Lynott can follow up that first place at Daytona with a really good run here, not only will he punch his way into the playoffs, but also going to get a free paint job. And it might be nice to see that 988. You know, he's not going to change his sponsor. You know, Lynott's awareness campaign is well respected and appreciated throughout the league. But maybe, you know, get a little bit of different design on the side. I think those colors are also indicative of the suicide prevention and awareness campaign, of which Lynott has been a champion of for many years. So who knows? Maybe he'll do something with it. Heck, maybe he'll trade it to one of his Gulf Coast teammates, or East Coast Alliance as well. The two teams that he's known for. Ooh, not as quick as he would have liked to have been. Yeah, I think he's comfortable starting in the back. Maybe the guys in. Yeah. Maybe the guys in front of him won't be as comfortable with him behind him. Keep it tight, boys. Don't make a hole in the middle. Here we go. This is going to be our qualifying results. Up at the top, Captain Crunch Steve Lewis going to take the pole. On the front row with him, David Brenner going to start in second. Graham McGivern, great starting effort. Hopefully he will continue that push. Paul Ferdiani, the sponsor of the race, going to start in fourth. Rich Swingle, East Coast Alliance number 97, going to start in fifth. Sixth place, Alex McWhorter. Alex really needing a good run right here. Going to follow up that one victory that he's had with more points. Zach Williams going to start that number 89 in seventh place. Eighth place, Tommy Fox. Zach Engel going to start ninth, and Florida man Jax Duvall going to be in 10th. Congratulations, though, to Steve Lewis. He is our official pole winner. He is the recipient of the LeagueNewsWeekly.com Poll Award. Steve Lewis is your League News Weekly award winner. Congratulations, Steve Lewis.
Monster lap by Lewis. And I mean, a lot of guys, especially in real life, will tell you that qualifying on a track like this is just holding the pedal to the floor and turning left. But there's an art to it, especially on this platform here, iRacing. There's an art to being fast. There's a lot you need to think about, and there's a lot you need to execute. I've never personally been able to master it, so props to Lewis. Great lap by him, and he's going to have nothing but a clear view in front of him and 33 trucks breathing down his neck to start this thing.
Yep. So we named the top 10. We'll go ahead and zip through some more guys here. 11th place going to be Morris Craven. Justin B. Way. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. And it is not crap because it's going to start in 12th. 13th going to be Jaron Valley. Won last week at Iowa. Let's see if he can follow that up with another good performance here on the Super Speedway. Edward Peltz going to start in 7th. Eddie needs to get up the board very quickly if he wants to have a chance here today to push into the 12th position. David Owens going to start in 15th. Remember, David and Joe Volpus just a few points away from each other. 16th place going to be Kevin Kyle running that number 1 today. And 17th going to be Chris Smith starting in the number 37. Outside of him, part-timer George Jewell following up that third place last week, going to be starting here on the 9th row.
And rounding out the rest of this field, you got Jeff Pfeiffer starting over in 19th place. On the outside of him will be David Buell. 21st will belong to Joseph Volpus. Volpus, not with a qualifying effort that you expect from him, but it'll be fun to watch him go through the field. Eric Gambrill will be in 22nd. Wayne Newman, 23rd. Adam Milhot over in 24th. Jake Johnson, keep your eye on that truck today in the 32. He'll be starting in 25th. Kyle Lynott, we talked about him pre-race. He'll be starting 26th. Tim Darby, eventful day yesterday, 27th. 27th today. Nick Mills will be starting in 28th place. He's another one to keep your eye on. And going through the field, Nate Marr will be in 29th. And should have said Nick Mills' first car not to put in a time, so none of these trucks put in a time. And that also include Benesh, Novella, Milliken, Newman, and Stephen Neal. Those are all fast trucks.
Wow, look at Stephen Neal, going to start in the back comfortably. Remember, he is in 11th, got a little bit of a gap over 12th, but crazy finish here today could affect him. We'll just have to keep an eye. 34 trucks participating here today in the Plus EV Paints, the big one at Talladega 200. Great turnout here for the season finale, getting ready to find our way into the next playoff round. 75 laps where chaos strikes without warning. One wrong move, and it's a highlight reel for all the right reasons, if you're asking us three wide up here in the booth. And we got Joe Volpus down there with a GoPro, so he'll see the confrontations between any drivers if they decide to chirp it up after the accidents. Steve Lewis on the inside in that 88 Captain Crunch. So indicative of Lewis. Loves that paint scheme. So do we. Gonna see what he can do with that here today. Coming around turn number 4. Lights are off. Expecting the pace car to pull off. He does. 34 trucks ready to get her done. Who goes to the playoffs? Who gets the free paint job? And who goes to the infield care center? All this and more to be revealed in 75 laps of excitement. Lewis waiting for the flag man to tell them to take her green. And away we go. Steve Lewis is going to bring him through the Sunoco sign and across the start-finish line. Lewis, he's got the whole party in tow. 34 trucks, 17 deep, side by side all the way. Lewis on the inside looking for a little bit of help. Outside lane, though, has 3 trucks, very tight. That should give him enough momentum. Sure enough, on the backstretch, outside lane pushes ahead, and it looks like the 22 of Brenner making moves.
Yeah, that outside lane carrying a lot of momentum. That's normally what you see in the restart. And look at that, the 44. But that's already looking to go 3 wide. These guys aggressive early. Didn't fully expect that. Tommy Fox trying to block that lane, keep things cordial for now. But that might not be up to the 57. And already we're seeing not a ton of help for that top lane. And that's going to help out Steve Lewis. We'll see who can lead this first lap. Start-finish line all the way at the end of this front stretch here.
Alex McWhorter gonna push it out to the top, trying to make that third lane work as well. Swingle, look at Duvall getting into this mess now. Here we go, third lane, trying to make it work on the outside. Lewis, though, taking advantage, less distance to travel on the inside. And when you go 3, side drafting helps out that inside lane. Middle lane now making a push, Brenner once again, but they are still 3 wide out there, Zach. 3 trucks committed. And even as you look fade back there, look at Williams riding that outside. You can also see the number 1 of Kevin Kyle. That middle lane just kind of surviving right now. Gonna see how interesting this will be, especially once 5 trucks commit to the outside.
Lewis hitting.
Louis pulling a parachute.
So Lewis looking to pit. I'm assuming, yep, that's a black flag, maybe jumped the start unintentionally. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's 2 days in a row, I believe we've seen that, me and G. We saw it yesterday with Jose Medina, and I think it just happened again. So unfortunate there for Steve Lewis. Luckily, this is a long track. He'll likely go a lap down on pace here once he comes back out, but it's easy to get that lap back here at Talladega once we get a caution. So we'll have to keep his fingers crossed and hope he's the only one that runs into misfortune like that. Looks like it was only a drive-through, so could be worse for Lewis. Up front, the 15 of McWhorter, so it's high risk to go 3 wide, but here we go. You see why McWhorter and Ferdiani have moved up to the front, as has Jack Duvall.
And, high risk, because guess who was up in the 4th truck on that outside was Kevin Kyle. He got left out, shuffled all the way to the back. Kevin Kyle now in 16th, and he owes a big thank you to David Buell, who picked him up and gave him a push. Buell back in 27. Oh, a little bit of contact. Gonna force it 3 wide, make some space. What I'm seeing right now, Zach, is the same story we saw Monday night, just last night at Daytona, where unless you were on a team communicating, there was not a lot of giving, just a lot of taking. Oh, another parachute gets pulled.
Wow.
Looks like Duvall heading straight backwards now.
Yeah, Duvall, whether it was a bad push or just had enough of this group, going to head all the way to the back, likely all the way down to 33rd place. His only objective now should be to keep the draft. And then up front, all the way from 26th starting, Kyle Lynott looking to take the lead.
Kyle Lynott making battle on the outside. He's getting a great push from Nate Maurer. Inside lane, you can see Jaron Valley getting a good push from Paul Ferdiani. Justin White, now the third truck on the outside, finally settling in inside and outside lane. Justin White, third truck on the outside, gonna take a peek up high near the wall, decides to tuck it back down behind Nate Maurer. Lynott, Maurer, and White on the outside. Valley, and McQuarter pulls the parachute.
Oh, wow. I'm thinking there's some bad pushes happening because it keeps happening on the exit at 2. There must be some pushes on the exit the corner, which is a big no-no normally here at Talladega and creates loose situations like that. One thing to keep note of is I'm almost positive Lynott and Maurer work together to be where they are. Maurer right there pushing Lynott on the outside lane, but Maurer starting around the same as Lynott in 27th, and here they are working for the lead, but Ferdiani with a nice move to the outside. Ferdiani was aggressive early and keep that same tune, but Lynott's going to bail immediately. 3 wide we go.
Yep, and look on the outside. That is a big push on that outside lane. Lynott still going. Maurer giving him the push. Ferdiani trying to make it work. And now Maurer ditches Lynott, takes the inside. Justin White gonna go with him. That's Maurer and White on the inside. Outside, Kyle back into position now. Kevin Kyle trying to push Kyle Lynott. And you can see now Maurer looking high to go 3 wide again. This thing is wide open, Zach. Nobody's got friends. It's lap 6. I'm going to win this thing right now.
It looks like there's 6 to go. Now that we're on lap 6 of an eventual, we'll see how long this race goes. Scheduled for 75, we'll see. But oh my gosh, we are 3 wide coming to the start-finish line here. Maurer and Justin White working so well together, but being very aggressive in the process. Now David Owens working that middle line. Ferdiani pushing him along, and the 01 trying to make the inside work right now. Jaron Valley, last week's winner. Man, it did not take these guys long to get up to the front. And if you look at our data, it's insane how people have lost 20 spots, how people have gained 20 spots. And I think that's a theme we're going to see a lot of here today. That outside line working so well together right now as well.
Yeah, look at that. 4 deep back to Kyle. Maurer now going to go ahead and fade to the middle, all the way down, going to get in front of Valley. Valley now pushing Maurer on the inside. Owens getting a push from Ferdiani in the middle. Outside lane, Justin White, Lynott, Kevin Kyle. Lots of switching up going on. I'll tell you what this racing is reminding me of, though, Zach, is they're not saving fuel. Nobody's counting backwards right now. You've got the pedal all the way to the floor as hard as you can. I mean, it is hammer down racing right now, and we are loving it up here in the booth.
Yeah, no, one of the main ways to tell that is everybody wants to lead this race, and I can tell you leading at these super speedways uses so much more fuel than anywhere else in the field. As long as you have someone to draft, you can use about save about a third of a lap on fuel just by being in the draft. So you've got to want to lead here at Talladega. Oftentimes drivers don't, but not the case here. People trying to get these points when they're available to them. Guys like Maurer wanting to control it, wanting to get his way into these playoffs.
Yeah, 3 wide is the story of the day. Right now, you can look at the lead group. You got 31 trucks in that lead group. Sam Milliken has fallen off. He's about 25 seconds back, also running 5 seconds a lap slower. Then behind him, you can see about a 7-second gap to AJ Benish and Steve Lewis. So still on the lead lap, about 20 seconds or so, 15 seconds ahead of the pack. But those guys, Benish, Lewis, and Milliken, they're going to need a caution to come out to make sure they stay on the lead lap. Up front, you can still see inside lane finally making a statement. Outside lane, without that guaranteed momentum, without 5 trucks committed to it, is just getting victimized. Side drafting with the wall does not work, does it, Zach?
No, it really doesn't. That is not one of the things you want to side draft. But I mean, everyone else in this field side drafting one another throughout the lap. One thing that's also sticking out to me is you would think that Lewis and Benesh lined up, working together, can make some progress. just by not racing each other. But no, like we talked about, these guys are pedal to the metal, and they are putting down very fast laps, 2 seconds faster than those of Lewis and Benesh. So they got to hope for a caution, or I think they're going to be going a lap down sooner rather than later, that this field will be able to see them. But this 3-wide action up front is not going anywhere. Shoot in the middle goes Brenner.
Brenner trying to make it work. It fades back to 2. Outside lane, Paul Ferdiani about 6 car lengths back from the leader on the inside. Leader being Jaron Valley, getting that push from Maurer. Graham McGivern now making an appearance up there. That's that 33 Ford, third truck on the inside lane. Meanwhile, teammates Brenner and Owens, great push there in the middle, pushing them up side by side with the leaders, needing a third car, and now they get one. It looks like that's Zach Williams in that 89 Ford, going to be the third truck in the center. Big gap back to Ferdiani after that. Outside lane, Stoll, and we're shuffling, Zach. We're shuffling like a deck of cards.
Not sure if Brenner's trying to kill runs there, if he just got a little unfavorable of a push, but that was a sketchy moment for the 22 of Brenner, as all the trucks do a camouflage act real quick to make us very confused about who is who. That's going to only be even more interesting when it all comes back. Our producer currently updating paints, and if there's one thing I know, me and Gene, is not having updated paints. It's like, why even run for a lot of these drivers? So very important, as we're going to see these paint schemes slowly come in. One thing that has not changed, I can tell you, is Brenner up front. He's that middle car. That's Jaron Valley on the inside. On the outside is Ferdiani. Ferdiani is really like that outside lane, which, oh man, I prefer that one over the middle lane, but he has been the one that's made sure we've stayed 3 wide this whole run so far, and it's been, I mean, I'm not complaining at all. It's been fun. But man, coming out at 2, how sketchy is it getting?
Yeah, I've just been amazed that with 3, sometimes 2 trucks, Brenner and Owens have made that middle work. Even when they're not getting help from the field behind them, they're able to draft and push off each other. Maurer pulls the parachute. That's going to shake things up at the front. Valley doesn't have a friend now.
Gee, that car's blown up. It is blown up.
Oh, he overheated.
Oh, wow. Maurer saying to the field just now, it blew up on me, boys. Oh, that is going to be it for Nate Maurer. I think one thing that these guys are still trying to get used to, me and Gene as well, is these dashes are digital now. You can see it right there. They didn't used to be. It used to be analog dials, and to me it was a little bit easier to tell when I was overheating, and that happens a lot of these tracks, especially if you're the pusher, the first pusher specifically, and that was Maurer, and that is gonna do it for Maurer, and that is also gonna do it for his playoff hopes.
Not a good day for Nate Maurer here, the 971 Toyota, our first casualty here at the Plus EV, the big one, 200 at Talladega. Up front, David Brenner now without Jaron Valley, without Maurer committed to that bottom line. This thing is spread out now, or tightened up to 2 lines. Look at Ferdiani still, though, saying, come on, boys, let's go 3 wide. Let's go racing. I mean, I can hear he sounds like Darrell Waltrip with the boogities coming out of him, but nobody wanting to take his invitation to go up 3 wide. Meanwhile, look at Zach Williams now running there on that outside. He's got Justin White pushing right behind him. Wayne Newman up there now. That's that 08 Ford. I want to give a shout out, by the way, to Wayne Newman. On Sunday morning, Bonfire Premier Cup, I was involved in some racing on the lead lap. Wayne Newman came up a lap down, had fresher tires, didn't get involved, followed us around for a little bit, waited his time, and then passed us without incident. So he let cars on the lead lap race. True gentleman, that's Wayne Newman.
Class act right there. God, I appreciate that. And I will come back around to him when he is that lead lap car, which he'll undeniably be. Up front, we do still have Zach Williams trying to make that outside line work. But yeah, Ferdiani all the way towards the back of the field now, not able to get any help on that outside lane. Had to wait for his opportunity to file back in. So he's going to have to be patient there. There's that Sitco truck tailing that outside lane now in the 44. Things calming down just a tiny bit. Still intense racing, but that third lane has died down for now. We're getting closer and closer to the pit stops here. Smoke and Joe, about how long do you think these guys have on fuel here?
So looking at the current data on fuel, it looks like they're going to try and make it to lap 25 to make it a 2-stop race. If you're saving further on back in the field, you might be able to go to 26 to 27.
Interesting. Also, you got to be thinking about that stage. These guys need to get points when they are available to them. I believe that stage will be at the conclusion of. Oh, no stage. I apologize. No stage. We cover too many leagues, Mean Gene.
Never. It's not possible. Hey, I'll tell you another storyline. Lewis and Benish caught Milliken. Milliken fell in behind them, and they're running times that are like a tenth of a second slower than the leaders. So I think they're going to be able to put off the inevitable for a little bit longer, hoping that perhaps there will be a caution once half the damn field tries to go in the pit at the same time. But Milliken tagging onto the end of Benish and Lewis right there. So none of those cars showing any kind of damage. It was just the bad luck of Milliken and Benish to lose the crowd. And then, of course, Lewis with his issue. There's always a good time with Nick Mills.
Yep, Nick Mills forcing the issue, going to create a third lane, kind of shoving the 951 to the outside. I'm sorry, the 151 of Ryan Newman to the outside there. You never do that to Mr. Ryan Newman. Brenner trying to control both lanes, but Brenner bails out. And that was not a forced effort. Oh no, we're wrecking. McGivern into the 151 of Newman, and we have big hits all over the track, and we have cars hitting the wall trying to avoid it. But another chase hopeful involved in this race, or I'm involved in a wreck in this race. So unfortunate there for McGivern.
Yeah, not what he needed to happen. I was about to comment that things have calmed down without Maurer up there pushing Valley. But here we go. We get the caution. Congratulations, Benish, Lewis, and Milliken. That's going to give them that opportunity to come around and get back on the tail end of this thing. But condolences to possible playoff drivers involved in this thing, because once the arrow goes, you're just struggle busing it the whole way with no fast repairs either. This could be painful. All the field most likely going to come down and take fuel. Hey, who knows? Might not take tires. I know tires aren't a big deal, but it's always nice to have fresh ones, especially during a caution, right?
Yeah, but you can lose so many positions that way. I'd assume only fuel for these guys a little bit earlier than they would like. But let's take a look at what happened there, Mean Gene. Have the replay here for you. Keep your eye on the 33 of McGivern. I don't know that's where it's going to start, but that's the first one I saw involved. So there's Brenner bailing out. He was not hit by Owens wrong. I think maybe needed to say fuel.
4 wide.
And here we go, 4 wide, and there just isn't room. Mills gets tagged by Newman. They both say Newman. Do we have 2 Newmans?
Is that
here?
Johnson on? Yeah, we got 2 Newmans.
We do have 2 Newmans.
Was that Jake Johnson on the outside minding his own business? Who was that?
That's Ryan Newman right there.
Okay.
And that's going to go into Swingle. McGivern riding the wall. Looks like the 42 is going to get involved in this one as well. I'll see if I can get a shot at that.
Oh, no, that was Jake. Jake Johnson ended up getting into that green, white, yellow, and that's fun.
That's always a good time.
Lanat.
Yeah, a lot here. A lot of cars scrambling. Let's go back a little bit to see what else happened here. I'll keep my eye. Oh, man, instead, I think on the 151 of Ryan Newman here. Let's take a look here. So keep your eye here. There goes Newman across the track. Big hit for Swingle.
Ooh.
42, maybe with some engine damage there. A lot of hits.
Meanwhile, pits are open. Everybody going to go ahead and bring it down into the pit. Watching this replay, you can see the pitting on the left and the replay on the right. Great production value here on the Vortex Racing Network. 3 wide in the booth. You got Zach Panzarella doing this replay for us. Mean Gene Money watching intently, and Smoking Joe making it all happen for us behind the scenes here at the EV Plus EV Paints, the big one at Talladega 200.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the first of a few, or many, I should say, big ones.
One of the big ones.
Yeah, one of the big ones.
So, the gods of chaos are excited.
Exactly. Which is us a lot of the time. I think we've kind of been spoiled. We got Daytona yesterday and MRL, and then we get Talladega here today, so that's fun. Looks like Owens may have been the first one out of pit row there.
Yeah, I'm showing David Owens up at the front. 10-second pit stop, maybe right sides.
Yeah, that sounds like right sides to me. Zach Williams did enter in the lead, so maybe 4 tires for Williams. Maybe those guys were starting to feel a little something they weren't comfortable with during that run, and
why
wanting some
not?
tires.
That's
Now
what I'm
would be the
saying.
time.
I know it costs you position, but we're watching guys flow up and down the field so much. Why not take that shot, get those 4 fresh ones, and you can feel a whole lot more comfortable when you start making those Michael Mata moves. Ooh, that was 3 M's in a row out there at the end of a race or here on lap number 19. Guys that look like they took 4. Looks like Rich Schwingle in 8th place. Looks like he took 4. Matt Novella up in 10th. Looks like he took 4. Matt Novella up 20 spots into 10th. And remember, Novella won last year when they were here at Talladega, so no stranger to victory lane. Jeff Pfeiffer making an appearance up there now. Pfeiffer up into 12th in the number 85, so exciting to see him. 11.5. Maybe he just took 2 there. Looks like Duval's going to come down into the pit one more time. What do you think? Just a little top off? Why not?
Yeah, maybe these guys think about that. Actually, there is no station. Yeah, thinking about the end of the race now is when you probably do start counting backwards a little bit. And I can actually tell you why Zach Williams lost that lead. He didn't take 4. He just ever so slightly overshot his pit box. Not by a lot, but had to back up just a tiny bit, and that was enough to cost him 3 positions. But not the end of the world by any means for Zach Williams. And we've seen just how quickly you can go up and down this field. Only took Kyle Lynott 4 laps to get 26 positions.
Well, that's tough right there for Williams. You know, I've never done that, missed the pit by a little bit.
I've never done that.
I miss it by a lot. Okay, we're talking. Then I have to hit reverse and wonder if iRacing's going to kick me out.
I missed it so bad in a race last week that I had to drive. Like, I went so far in front of mine, I was like, I'm going to get a black flag because I have to drive backwards like 4 stalls.
Yeah, been there and just drove off and came around, and then the damn thing said, pits are closed. I said, I don't care. I'm coming anyway. Deal with it.
Exactly.
So huge field right now. 30 trucks still on the track on that lead lap. Behind them, you can see 3 more trucks coming out of the pit. That's Mills. That's Chris Smith in the 37. Ryan Newman still trying to motor it around as they are hammering away. A little bit of damage still on that right side of the 151. That's that orange Ford of Ryan Newman trying to get this thing back together. We are on lap 20. You can see we've had 9 lead changes, and I expect a whole lot more before this thing is over. Right now, David Owens being shown as your leader. David Owens also with that point advantage over Joe Vulpes. You might be wondering, where is Joe Vulpes? He's in 15th. Joe took 4 tires there. David Owens only took 2. Don't think we're going to see a big difference in the tires immediately, but if they go green the whole time, it might help you down the road if the other guy has to take 4 under green and you only have to take 2. So David Owens going to be the control car. Base car is out of the way, rolling it into the Geico restart zone. Keep an eye on the 8. Away he goes, and we are racing. Inside lane, Justin White going to have a little bit of help from Jaron Valley. Good bump by Valley, but that's not going to give White enough speed to catch up to Owens. What a great start there by the number 8. Zero Chill making it happen, coming through 1 and 2. Williams right up underneath Owens. Jaron Valley keeping it tight. Outside lane, Zach Williams is in the lead. Got a little bit of help from the 47 of Zach Engel. Rich Swingle also in that group. And here comes Jeff Pfeiffer as well. Great racing down the backstretch here at Talladega.
Yeah, David Owens, one of the best in the game at just absorbing those big pushes. He took one right in the middle of the corner, and there it is again from Justin White. And, this is not easy what David Owens is doing right now. Really impressive driving by Owens, holding on to that thing and holding on to the lead. He got the restart he wanted. White caught a little bit of sleep. Owens able to take the inside and making it work behind them, trying 3 wide. Looks like that's going to be Matt Novella, but no one's going to follow him. He's going to be left stranded out there, so Novella's going to go all the way to the back there. So already we are seeing some great racing, but the 3 wide not as abundant as it was to start this race. Maybe that wreck's spooking a few of these guys, even though that was 4 wide, to be fair.
Yeah, it looked like Novella just kind of missed that turn. He zipped up high and wasn't able to hold the line. He did take 4 tires, so maybe they were a little bit cold, not sure, but still stuck up on the outside. Meanwhile, this wreck did give the opportunity for others to close that gap. You remember we were worried about those drivers, and now not worried about them anymore. Sam Milliken making his way into 16th with the lead group. AJ Benish now in 20th with the lead group. Steve Lewis 27th. So those three guys benefited from that. Who didn't benefit, you might be wondering? Well, it was Ryan Newman. Ended up losing a lap for his effort. But hey, he's the lucky dog candidate.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, especially this early in the race, it is more worth it to prioritize getting all that damage fixed so you're not running slow laps and going a lap down, as Valley is going to bail out of the pack. He was third on the inside, Mean Gene, and I'm still trying to pay attention to, is this going to be an engine thing, or is he just not liking the vibe of the group in front of him? And maybe this is why, as the 89, the 97 really not negotiating it well out there, and here goes Swingle to the outside, but that's because the push did not go well. I don't know if Swingle meant to do that.
No, I don't think he did either. Now he's stuck outside the same way we saw Matt Novella get done. Top four are all on the inside lane. First truck in the middle is going to be Zach Williams trying to make it work. Oh, and now Jake Johnson gets a little touchy-poo from Pfeiffer. Look inside of Johnson, going to stay in line, though. So that is some exciting racing right there. Pfeiffer, Craven, and Jake Johnson all in that little group trying to make it happen. You could really throw a blanket over about those first 14 cars. Outside lane now trying to get it back together. That's Williams getting the push from Pfeiffer. Behind them, you can see the 46.
Yep. And additionally, Mean Gene, one other guy I want to shout out, someone who was involved in that first wreck, Graham McGivern, has already worked his way up into nearly the top 15. He's currently sitting, was 17th, now down to 19th just because of how crazy it is there. And I will tell you, like I said earlier, McGivern, a teammate of mine on Thursdays, and he's really open to advice, guidance. And one thing that I've taught him, or not taught him, really told him about the limited success I have had on this type of racing is I stay married to the bottom and I refuse to leave. I think McGivern, I saw him doing a lot of that in that first run, and the second he went away from that, guess what happened? He got in trouble and got wrecked. But here he is again, married to that bottom, and he has already picked up 10 spots since we've gone green.
I think it's just one of the safer things to do. Some guys ride the rail like nobody's business, and they just look like champions doing it. Me personally, I like to ride that bottom. It keeps me in position, and then at the end, if I want to make it happen, as long as I don't have Robert Plant Smith behind me, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go high, get that push, and take another dub and get another KK Woodscape trophy on my wall.
Whoa, what's going on up there? Is that Pfeiffer? And it looks like maybe Mills trying to get a better look. It is Pfeiffer and Mills. They both get stuck on the outside and they go all the way to the back behind, coincidentally, Richard Swingle, the last guy who had that happen to him. So, man, just a few of these drivers kind of getting thrown out one by one out of this lead pack. But one guy who really no one can do anything about right now, and that's that number 8 of David Owens, clicking off laps, doing what he has to do to be the BRL regular season champion.
Yeah, David Owens, we're going to lap 75. We're on lap number 26 right here. 50 laps remaining. Plenty of time for things to unfold. Outside lane, look at that. They're taking a peek around Williams. Gonna fall back into line. I think it's a little too soon. Unless you got 4 buddies that you can trust, I would not be looking around. Meanwhile, we were wondering where Joe Vulpes is. He's the third truck on that outside lane right now. So yep. Vulpes back into this thing. Veteran driver, don't think he's gonna go 3 wide. 5 cars back and think anybody's going to go with him. Think he's going to just take his time right here, slowly creep back up. He's got good fellas that he's working with. Williams has proven that he can ride that outside lane and lead. And look at this now. Outside lane draws even. It's Owens and Williams bringing it into 3.
Yeah, Vulpes doing a great job here. He's picked up about 10 spots since we've gone green for this run. Maybe seeing his championship contender, David Owens, leading laps, and that is what got the urgency going for him. One thing to take note of right now, Mean Gene, pay attention to that second car in the inside lane of Justin White. And watch how, especially if we get that same camera angle going down the backstretch, and here it is here, he'll likely do it through the middle of this corner. He's going to try to get that grill right there, some fresh air. He's just a little bit below Owens. There it is again, about half a car length below Owens, and then you'll probably see him do it again here through this backstretch. You know what that tells me, Mean Gene? He is afraid of that engine expiring the same way Mowers did.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on that. Also, I'm a little confused, Zach. Help me out here. I keep seeing the 46 up there, second truck on the outside. Is Wayne Newman, the 08, running a 46 on your paint?
Yep.
Okay, good. No, I'm crazy, but not for that reason. Those two things are not
I think the
connected.
42 as well, unless I'm crazy. Oh, no, I am crazy. That's Tim Darby. I apologize, Tim. But yeah.
That's Tim. Because the 46 to me was supposed to be Gambrel, but I was like, but he ain't that far up. That's crazy. All right, so great pushing here. Justin White, been content to be a bridesmaid and not the bride yet. Plenty of time left before he does it. David Brenner pushing from the third position into White. He's got to be happy. That's his teammate up in front. David Owens, why not help him get a championship? Outside lane, Zach Williams continues to lead. Now he's got Zach Engel giving him a little bit of love on that outside as well. So great action here. Calm down. They've settled down, putting down laps now. Nobody looking outside to that third lane. And that's kind of been the story. Dudes that have used that outside lane, not working very good. And ever since Maurer blew up his engine, it just seems like nobody really wants to team up and do that.
Looks like Lennot and Swingler are going to give it a shot, but they're going to need more than 2 trucks if they want that outside lane to do anything meaningful. Up front, I think one thing that should be noted, too, is just how well White and Owens are working together, because I think Owens should be commemorated as well, because right there, you can see it. He is running higher than he normally would. He is making sure that White is getting that fresh air to keep his engine under temperature to where it's not going to expire the same way Mauer's did. And that is a joint effort. Owens being very mindful, one of the more intelligent race car drivers in this league, and you're seeing it right now. Up front in that second lane, you see Williams and the 46 working together, and they are also doing a great job, but the runs aren't they're really big, but they're not as linked up as White. Oh boy, and this could change things as well, as Volpis is going to shoot to the top right to get in front of Lennot and try to pick up that outside lane, and we're about to go 3 wide.
Here it is. We're finally 3 wide again, and hey, why not? Finally, he's got some people that are willing to go with him. You got Lennot out there giving a little bitty push to Volpis. Looks like they've also got that yellow truck giving him a little bit of effort. And hey, why not? I wouldn't be surprised to see the 29 of Williams pop back up there. Not so, though. I think that's Tommy Fox, maybe, in the third truck on the outside.
That's Swingle. That's a Swingle there.
Oh,
so
that's
him and
Rich.
Lennot made great progress together. Now Matt Novella is looking to join the party as well. So that third row has the ammunition it needs to put up a fight against the 2 rows below it, especially that middle line. I think that outside lane can do something. One thing to remember, too, while that is the longest way around the track, it requires less turning of the wheel, which means that you scrub off far less speed, and you're seeing that right now. Big run by the 13 of Volpis. I bet he wishes there was a stage, as we'd be close to it right now.
Oh, my gosh, look at that. We are 3 wide, 4 deep out there right now at Talladega. Up front, David Owens getting that push from Justin White. Another thing to think about for that outside row, all those fellas are in discord with each other, so they are able to talk about it. Middle lane trying to make it work. Oh, there goes somebody getting shot down. I think that
was
might
Newman,
be,
I believe.
Yeah, Newman in that orange truck. Still trying to make it work as best he can. So, again, in that playoff picture, you can see right now where Lennot is. He's running up in that 8th spot. Got to be comfortable there. Closest guy to him, of course, Jake Johnson, just 4 points back. Johnson is the 7th car on the inside lane. So Johnson not out of this, but 3 wide again, just making it happen. And look at those boys ride the rail. That is Novella kind of faded away from those 3, but you can still see Rich, Swingle, Lennot, and here we go. They got another taker, and that's just going to give them all kinds of speed, as you could see Valley jump, or Kevin Kyle jump up in front of Volpis. Volpis driving a hole through him.
Oh, man, aggressive move by Kevin Kyle. And that was Jake Johnson we saw almost get turned out of 2 there. Definitely been the sketchiest part of this racetrack. And, man, Kyle Lennot, he's doing what he has to do to make this postseason. But I'd be nervous if I was him right now. We've still got over halfway in this race to go. And if anything happens in front of him, he'll likely be involved in it up there in that top lane. And another thing that I saw in that last lap, the runs between White and Owens are starting to get a little bit sketchier. White's still looking for that clean area. And last time, he almost had too big of a run on Owens and almost hooked him. And that would have been the whole field, Mean Gene.
Yeah, that is what you're terrified of. Again, though, look at this. 5 deep, 3 wide. Beautiful. And now here comes a 6 car on that outside lane. Now that middle lane in danger of losing its integrity. Zach Williams has been committed to running that middle. He's got Newman right there with him. That's Wayne Newman in that 46. And then behind them, I believe that is the 17 of Milliken. So middle lane trying to hold its integrity, but now that Kevin Kyle has hooked up with that East Coast Alliance Gulf Coast Racing
4
team
wide, Nick Mills.
on the outside, it is Nick Mills. Why not? Why not? Let's go 4 wide, Nick.
Oh, man. And Nick Mills was the one who sent them 4 wide to start this whole thing, or to start the first record. He's not afraid to do it again. That was a bold move by Nick Mills. We're back down to 3 wide. But, wow, the way Mills forced that was really interesting. He had a run, and just no one went with him. And oh, man, it's getting sketchy in that middle lane. I think people are looking a little bit more obliged to take that outside lane. I'm seeing more trucks want to use that far outside lane right now, and I can understand why they're making some good forward progress, led by 2 very fast drivers in Kevin Kyle and Volpis with Lanot as their 3rd truck. Up front still, though, nothing for Owens and White quite yet, but God, they're working hard to keep that lead.
I love Sam Milliken pulling the parachute. He's that green 17 truck when Nick Mills did that. Milliken was like, no, you're wrecking the field.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all you. You eat the whole pie, dude. I am out. Milliken's still running up there. He's the 4th truck on that middle lane. Middle lane getting spread out. You can see there's 5.
Looks bad in there.
Milliken finally going to bring it down, leaving only 3 in the middle. Inside lane has to feel great. Still David Owens getting that push from Justin White.
Oh, the 32. Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson pulling out. Bring it in smooth. Going to pull up in front of Milliken. Milliken backs off. Ferdiani goes up high. They're fine. Meanwhile, 3 wide. Nick Mills. Stay down, Nick. Don't do it. Don't do it, Nick.
Milliken just lit up the radio and said, "You're lucky I'm nice," to Jake Johnson, and he's not wrong. He is lucky that they let him back in, because that could have gone way worse. And here we are, 3 wide. Nick Mills working that inside. Mills is just ultra aggressive, looking for this win here today, looking for more points. But before we enter, there he goes, shooting the middle.
Yes, sir. That's my boy, the number 20 now on the middle lane. That's where Zach Williams has needed help. It's been Zach Williams and Wayne Newman in the middle all day looking for help. Oh, and Newman bails, goes down to the inside lane, going to get behind the 74 of Craven. But look at that, Mills getting the push. Williams has been committed. He's just needed a psycho to go with him, and he might have found the right guy in Nick Mills.
I think he definitely did. Nick Mills has definitely been that psycho today, and I think that you are spot on there. That middle lane just needed a different leader. That is what happens sometimes, and I'm sure Williams wanting to save some fuel, so this is going to be very interesting to see what that middle lane can do. That outside, holding tough, Kevin Kyle, Volpis, and Lanot doing a good job, and look at that side drafting by Nick Mills, getting all the way to the door of White and Owens, trying to slow down those inside cars. Trucks.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, look at Tim Darby, 3rd truck in that middle lane. Tim has been knocking on the door of greatness, and here he is, a lead lap being shown in the top 7 and running in the middle 3 wide. That is not easy to do in any vehicle.
No, it's really not. And the side drafting, even when you're going in a straight line, is not easy either. And it's oftentimes where you see things go wrong. These guys really going for it now. We're just around the halfway point of this race, of the scheduled 75 laps here at Dega. And man, you would not know by looking at these guys. This looks like the white flag out here. Here goes Mills with a good run. Can he take the lead away from Owens? And will he stay married to the middle?
There we go. Look, Darby tightens it up. It's really on that 3rd truck to make it happen.
Swingle.
The 3rd truck is where you go. Swingle peeking on the outside, trying the side drafting, giving a lot of air resistance to Darby, making him wiggle, bringing him down closer and closer to that 47. No. And there it is. Finally. And he's about to flip. That's exactly what I was talking about. You start running on that outside, you side draft, and all of a sudden the truck is getting battered. And Zach, I know some people might disagree with me here, but you can clearly tell when people are running the direct drive versus the rubber band man steering, especially on a super speedway. I've seen plenty of cars, once they start going 3 wide, they start getting dirty air. Once they start getting battered by the side drafting, it is so hard to keep that thing straight. And I think that's what we just saw happen to Tim Darby right there.
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. Let's take a look here and keep your eye on that 42 of Darby. He's going to just come up on into Swingle right above him, and he just never stops coming up. And I think you're right, Mean Gene. Dirty air affecting it. Maybe loose. These tires are pretty old at this point. Just up. Nothing Swingle can do at all.
No,
and
they're
Darby is
sucked in.
going to pay for his sins here, though, Mean Gene.
Oh, T-Bone.
That
Look
is
at
a
that.
full stake.
Look at
Almost
that.
got both sides of it. Look at these shots.
You ever wondered what the bottom of the truck looked like?
Right.
Wonder
Did
no
you
more.
ever? Oh my goodness, what a big hit for Darby. Really lucky for him that he stayed on, I mean, I guess I should say the wheels for the most part. Oh, but this is probably where it gets worse as Darby noses it into the wall afterwards. Swingle with one of the worst hits you can have here on iRacing. That will likely hurt his engine. And yeah, you can see right there, Swingle not happy with Darby in the 42. And yeah, just really nothing Swingle the 97 can do. And that 42 is donezo.
Yeah, he's got serious damage. He is now. And he's still rolling it around.
Oh, no, that was it. Oh, no, there he is, still rolling it.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's still rolling it. You know, I think it's just a matter of also realizing what people can handle. You know, if you're out on that track and you're in between David Medina and Jason Landry, then by all means drive like a madman. You don't need to worry about those two guys. They got enough experience. They got high dollar rigs, okay? They got the 16 nanobyte direct drive, upside down inverted 12 gig pedals. Like, they're not going to have a problem. You know, if you're running out there with a couple of rookies next to you, like, I don't know, the 51, you're going to run next to the Chrome Dome and you got a Zach Clausen. Don't go 3 wide. What are you thinking? You need to be aware of who you're around. You know, I'm giggling, Zach and Jerry. Don't take offense at what I'm saying, but you have to know who you're around at that point. Meanwhile, speaking of who you're around, Justin White goes right around David Owens and looks like he's going to take the lead. Both those guys look like they took 2 tires there.
Yeah, we saw it there. Owens did take 2. I don't know how White was able to get out in front of him. Owens exiting his pit stall really fast as well. Impressive job getting
2
in and out of his
seconds,
stall,
though.
though. For White, there you go. That's all it's going to take. And so now White will have the advantage on this restart. You saw how big that was for Owens on the previous restart. Owens really getting the advantage, driving in front of the field, getting the inside lane, and able to control that whole run there. Now we're in the nitty gritty. We heard Smoke and Joe talk to us earlier about how much fuel these guys have. Looking at the laps remaining, this is not enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. So these guys are going to have to make a decision at what point you want to put that fuel in. Me personally, me and Gene, I would be doing it as late as I can so I can spend as little time in the pits as possible, putting in as the smallest amount of fuel that I possibly can. And there is our race recap right there. And what blows my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, those 12 lead changes, I think they only log a lead change when a different leader leads a lap, not actually an on-track lead change.
Yeah,
so that
exactly.
is 12 of 41 laps. That is pretty insane.
Yeah, nobody's safe out here. You keep seeing the switching. We did see a lot of loyalty, though. Justin White pushing David Owens. Going to be curious to see how this restart's going to go, because depending on what lane White picks, David Brenner is the 3rd place truck. So if White decides that he's going to start on that outside lane, that's going to let Owens and Brenner hook up immediately. And Zach Engel going to be pushing on the 28 of Justin White. So Brenner and Owens ready to get it on and hook up here. Behind them, Zach Engel. I've seen Zach win in trucks at Talladega before. So the 47 has that ability to lightning strike. Also, Zach's been in the league a long time. Okay, he knows that Owens and Brenner are buddies, so he's most likely going to be wanting to hook up with somebody else. And after what Justin White did for David Owens, if I'm Zach Engel, I'm going to hook up with White, get some loyalty there, and who knows, if Zach gets up in the front, maybe White pays him back with a little bit of a push and could get Zach right out in the front for a dub.
Yeah, if you're one of those guys that is not here with the team with the coordinated plan, you kind of have to start making your friends and create your team as the race goes on. Now is a better time than any to start doing that, making those friends, developing that trust for later in this race when you're going to need those big pushes or be trusted to give those big pushes. So I like that strategy for Zach Engel. Looks like White, even with the lead of the race, choosing the outside here, leader with line choice here on restart. So White going to choose the outside, and you'd have to think that part of that reason is either wanting to get to the bottom like we saw Owens do, or wanting to work with Zach Engel. We'll have to see which one it is.
Yeah, because it would not be out of the realm of possibility to see Brenner burp it and then cut up, because look who's in fifth. That's Joe Volpus. That's at 13.
Yeah, that's another one that's here now.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, why not? Why not?
Right.
White's on the bottom. He goes. Brenner doesn't help him. Owens is hooking up with Volpus. Volpus leaves a gap, says, come on up, David. Three East Coast, Gulf Coast guys on that outside. They're going to go like hell. And then there's Zach Williams, who's always looking for a partner up on the second and third row. I think this is a really good choice there by Justin. Gives him the opportunity to work with the only guy in the top five that is not Gulf Coast, East Coast Alliance fella. Pace car out of the way. Keeping an eye now on Justin White. He's on the outside, going to be the control truck. That's that 28 Toyota. Looking at David Owens as his rival. Now, yeah, Joe Volpus on the same team, but still wants to beat David for the championship. Into the restart zone we go. Away we go. Good start by White. Going to leave Williams, though. Now look at this, though. Owens, Brenner, and Jaron Valley connected. There we go. White's going to fade down. I think he's close enough so that he doesn't need to worry about Owens popping up and taking his team around the top. Oh, Joe Volpus going to bring it down into the inside lane, down to the apron, fifth truck on the inside. Outside lane, of course, Zach Williams. This dude is committed to riding around the top. Got Zach Engel right in front of him. Here comes Kevin Kyle into the picture now. You can also see Wayne Newman, George Jewell, Morris Craven, a lot of the same names. Jeff Pfeiffer still running up towards that top 10. Jake Johnson needs to get ahead of Kyle Lynott. Just 4 points between him and Lynott. Lynott in 8th, so Jake needs to get through. I'm going to say it. I think Jake's going to need to about win this thing to get by Lynott.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I think everything went according to plan for that restart there between Gulf Coast and Justin White. I think it looked like Owens and White had that already planned out going green. And Owens was hanging ever so slightly behind White, so that would go the way it did. And then quickly afterwards, Volpus gets his way to the bottom to join his Gulf Coast teammates, only separated by Kevin Kyle there on the inside. So well-executed restart there by Gulf Coast. Nothing new to them right here. We see those guys work so well together here in this league and on this, especially this type of racing, and oftentimes also allying with other teams to create even more numbers. I'd not be surprised if Zach Engel's one of those too. So is Williams really going to have to make it all work for him here? Kind of surprised we haven't created the third line yet.
No, I agree, but we got a lot of laps to go. We're only on lap 44. Right now, though, we are 10 deep, 2 wide, all the way back. Make it 11 now. You can see a little bit of swerving back there by Jaron Valley. Valley somehow finds himself back in 21st position, 18-second pit time. So I imagine he had a little bit of damage back there trying to figure it out. Up front, White continues to lead. It's Owens' turn now to return the favor. And I think David's just fine pushing Justin around this track. He has enough of a lead where he doesn't need to worry about the most laps led anymore. I think Owens has got a good shot there, definitely a better shot than Joe Volpus. And with Volpus riding back in 8th, no doubt Owens will be happy to just ride around here until that last lap and then say, hey, David Brenner, let's do something.
And they must have heard us because we're going 3 wide. It's going to be Lynott and Pfeiffer creating that outside lane. We'll see who goes with them. I think another reason why Owens is going to be happy running in second place to White right now is fuel does matter now. You're going to want to make this tank last as long as you can, and you're going to be able to do that a lot easier with the car in front of you. White going to be using the most fuel out of anyone right now. So I think Owens content to sit there until we get to the nitty-gritty of this race and just control it the best he can with that good track position. And I think that's why you see guys like Lynott and Pfeiffer willing to take those risky moves and use that top lane, because this is the time to get that track position.
I want to give credit to Kyle Lynott also making these moves. You know, if you're Kyle, you're in that 12th spot. You just need to ride around and pretty much have a decent finish and be within 4 spots of Jake Johnson. But instead, we see Lynott taking these aggressive moves, swinging for the fence, and there it cost him. You could see he fell all the way back to 21st position. He's going to, reset it, re-rack it, and start making his way up again. But he swung for the fence, and you always have to appreciate it when you see a driver not just sitting back, getting complacent. Instead, he wants to win, and that's what we see moves out of that 988, and that's what makes him such a great driver.
Yeah, you've got to be comfortable doing that. I really do feel like if you come and show up on the former, like what you're describing, which is being timid, points racing, and only thinking about that cut line, that oftentimes will end up with more mistakes just driving too in your head. So not driving like Kyle Lynott, aggressive, calculated, and willing to take willing to take chances like what we just saw. I don't think it will take much more for him to try it again, as that outside lane is going to give us a nerve shot. This time it's going to be Duvall and McWhorter leading them.
Oh, Duvall, we haven't talked about the Florida man for a while. Remember, he pulled the parachute early in this race, kind of faded from our memory, but here he is, top of mind, top of the line. Jax Duvall, Florida man, pushing that third lane right now.
Look for Zach Williams to go to this top line. He's kind of flirting with it. He's kind of showing Jax, I'm thinking about it if you catch up to me. And we'll see if Williams is married to Zach Engel. If he wanted it, that opportunity has come and gone. That outside lane is moving in a hurry. That stinger scheme of Jax Duvall looking good, too. I like that paint scheme.
Got Alex McWhorter. He's got Matt Novella pushing him. And now here comes Lynott, going to be the 4th truck. Behind him, that is... Newman. Who's that? I forgot that guy last time. That's Gambrill. Oh,
your good friend.
Finally,
Gambrill.
the real 46. Please stand up. Look at Duvall trying to make that work now. 7 trucks on that outside lane, finally getting the momentum. Meanwhile, on the inside, White still holding it steady. Middle lane suffering, as you can see them start to fade back. That's Zach Engel and Williams.
Oh my gosh,
Duvall with the move. He bailed right there pretty quick. Pulled out really fast. 84 now leading the middle lane, getting that push from Engel and Williams. McWhorter on the outside, still trying to get Novella and Lynott to push him with Rich. But my word, Duvall bailed on those guys quicker than a friend when it comes time to pay the bill.
And oh man, not a great push there from Lynott and Novella. Novella getting really loose on entry, able to save it and get it back together. Trying to give McWhorter the pushes he needs, but it's getting stacked up right there in the middle on that top lane. Oh boy, it's getting sloppy. These guys have got to figure it out. And Duvall waiting for the absolute last second to make that move, to the point where I think McWhorter had already checked up and he saw much and killed the momentum, but they have regathered it, and that is why you take those risks that you just saw Novella and Novella and Lynott taking, but Novella gets into the outside wall that time, and that's going to really kill the run of the outside group, and they are catching a lapped car, and you got to hope that doesn't happen in a corner.
No, especially 3 wide. We've seen Novella go up a high a couple of times now and tap the wall. I wonder if that's just the setup that he's running, that after he gets about 10, 15 laps into a run, all of a sudden that truck just gets loose. We're only 11 laps into this tire run, and there he is again, touching the wall, getting loose. Lynott as well. So you got to worry about that East Coast team and their aero ability on that outside lane. Here we go. Lap truck is just going to take it below the apron and say, no, I don't want anything to do with any of what y'all got going on. I believe that's Newman again, going another lap down.
Still whipping that damaged car around, or truck is Newman. But yeah, that would not have been possible 3 wide. So right call by Newman there to go below the apron. Justin White actually thanked him over the radio there. So I think he thanked him for the whole field, really. Right now, Jax Duvall really trying to make that middle line working, that outside line dying off. And I think it was from those mistakes you saw from Lynott and Novella. And no surprise, Nick Mills taking us 3 wide.
Mills, that's right. No, Nick Mills. You look at him on the inside now.
Shoot in the middle.
Yep, going to bump Morris Craven and just kind of push him up the lane. Zach Williams, hey, you know what? I should draft you, but I'm going to stick my nose in the middle. backs off. Now he's in that middle lane. Little contact with Morris Craven, pushes him up. Nick Mills, though, pushes his way up into the top 10, being shown in 8th, 4th truck on that outside lane.
Nick Mills doing some moves reminiscent of the 12 yesterday. Mean Gene, when you're really just shoving that truck in and just hoping for the best. It works sometimes, but when it doesn't, it gets ugly quick because it usually creates pileups. Nick Mills racing for himself right now, but it has gotten him up this field numerous times. Just has to continue to keep that 20 truck as clean as he can. See Kevin Kyle trying to throw a little bit of a side draft and keep that 20 away from him.
I think, though, the 20 is going to benefit from the fact that it's everybody against East Coast, Gulf Coast. You know, if you're not in their chat, what just happened? Looked like
Angle.
I wonder if his car was going to blow up. He was awful close, not getting a lot of air. This might just be a move to save that engine. 47 just going to bring it up, going to fall back in line. Morris Craven going to pick him up, good drive there by the 74. Those, look how close right there. You can see Duval is with that orange car right behind him. So there's not with Zach Williams. That's not a lot of air. Zach Williams must have an extra air filter. He's been close all race long.
I mean, and also in terms of to compound the pain for Angle there, when you're in that middle line, especially when you're 3 wide, it's not as easy to find that clean air that someone like Owens is able to find right now to cool that engine off. You're kind of stuck where you are. So I definitely believe you there. I think that likely is what Angle was dealing with. He did a great job getting back in the draft, not costing himself too much track position there. It can just reset and charge. Whoa. Duval through the bottom. I'm not sure how voluntary that was.
Duval in the lead. Florida man, he ain't worried about it. He's not going to stop and pay any tolls on the turnpike. He's just going to take it through. Now on the inside lead lane. But look at the outside. The patience of Zach Williams. This guy has been committed to staying in the 2nd or 3rd lane. And now he's got a Nick Mills. Remember earlier, Mills and Zach Williams hooked up, drove that middle lane up to the front. Here we go again. Nick Mills, Zach Williams, Zach Angle, the 3rd truck. And then the 4th truck going to be Morris Craven. Behind them, you can see Sam Milliken. Oh, a little bit of confusion for McWhorter. McWhorter finally falls into line down to the apron in front of Kyle Lynott. 5 trucks trying to make that outside lane work. That should be enough if they use the side draft properly.
Justin White just lit up the okay, we have a handful of trucks getting ready to pit here. Here we go.
Oh, let's see what kind of crash we're going to get.
Right? Will it be a long one? One that ruins a race? Do we just get everyone in there clean? Wow.
Yeah, look at that. It's all that East Coast, Gulf Coast stuff with a few stragglers. Duval, Owens, Brenner, McWhorter, Vulpes, Gambrel, all those guys in Discord with each other. No surprise. A few randoms in there as well. You can see Kevin Kyle running in there, Nick Mills, George Jewell, Pfeiffer, and Tommy Fox. So a few guys you weren't expecting, but they're still in communication with each other. Not a surprise. Going to bring it out. That's plenty of trucks right there, Zach. If they can hook back together, I think they're going to have the same, if not faster, laps than the group in front of them. Those guys really got to figure it out. Look at that. Look how the fellas, they're about to cross the start-finish line. They are all still spread out. You got about 6 or 7 on the inside, a little bit of 3 wide action back there as well. 5th truck back. So they're having a lot of difficulty figuring that out. Meanwhile, trucks that went into the pit, that's only a group of 5. That is no bueno for my bilingual friends. They might have a little bit of trouble, but 5 is the magic number that we've seen to be able to turn very similar lap times. Meanwhile, up front, they have finally figured it out.
It's gonna be everybody else.
All single file, all the way back to Craven. Craven, the only truck on the outside, trying to get a little bit of help there from AJ.
It's going to be busy. Here we go. It's going to be busy, me and Gene. It's going to be the majority of the field. But, oh, boy, Ferdiani looks like he's coming in there hot. We'll see if that was speeding for the 44. Everyone else getting in there relatively clean. Milliken needs to get down before Angle. They were able to figure it out right there. That was a close one. And we'll have to see how long that 44 is, or if he is held in his pit box, I should say. So far, still out in the field, we got Morris Craven. We got Buell, Banesh, Swingle, Mailhot, and Neil. So a group of 6, and I agree with you. I think 5 is a lucky number, so these guys are going to want to pit together. Behind them, it looks like everybody else has done a good job of getting organized on that Gulf Coast line, being led by Jax Duvall. Keep my eye on Ferdiani right now, and he is being held. So speeding for Ferdiani in the 44. So unfortunate for a really strong truck today.
Yeah, not what he wanted to see. Our sponsor here today, the Plus EV Paints. The big one at Talladega 200, of course, our sponsor, not the day he wanted, but we're one caution away from tightening it back up. But at this point, everybody's spread out the way we are. I think people are just going to be desperate to get back into a pack and figure it out. Meanwhile, up front, 6 trucks in the lead group. They're being led by David Buell. Good run for them. Looks like they're getting very close to picking up a straggler here. That's Tim Darby. Going to be the first truck. Darby going to move up and out of their way.
Too much damage to help.
Anything to do with that, yeah. A little bit of damage for him, so that's no good. Looks like Tommy Fox is going to be the next guy on their list. Tommy should be clean at this point, but they're going to be pitting soon. Not going to be of any help to Tommy Fox.
Whoa! Go back to Lynott real quick. Oh, man, and that group of Lynott, Owens, and Mills, there was just an extremely close call, and there it is. Owens going to bail, or thinking about bailing out. Him and Mills not able to figure this out right now, and this is not what this group can afford, Mean Gene. I like what that lead group of 6 is doing right now. That is a strategy I was talking about, what I would have gone with. Mills loose. Mills ultra loose. Can he save it? It looks like he will. He touched the apron, and just that little touch is enough to really, really upset that truck. And I believe our leaders are going to be coming in this time. We're going to have Craven, Buell, and Banesh. Yeah, this is going to be everybody. So a little bit longer for these guys, maybe as long as those tanks would allow them. But I am very curious to see where this group of 6 comes out, if they're all able to exit together, hopefully on the same page. Here we go.
Really smooth also, that group of 6. Now it looks like they're not all going to go in 2 trucks. Tommy Fox, of course, going to stay up. And really loose in front of Neil. That's going to hurt him. Buell looks good coming in. The 5 of Benish looking good coming in. Meanwhile, Mailhot and Swingle both choosing to stay out on the track. They last pitted on lap number 40, so they have got to think about it soon. 21 laps of fuel in there. Tommy Fox going to bring it up, so they're going to maintain a decent speed, but again, 5 the magic number. I will say this, though, that group with Owens and Mills,
you're going hard.
That big wiggle that they had, though, that disrupted the whole group, and that's something that's going to cost them just a little bit of time, whereas that group of 6 that we saw that was led there by David Buell, not having quite that trouble. So who knows? They might get lucky with that bigger group, be able to catch up once it cycles around. We'll just have to keep an eye on where it goes. Meanwhile, look at that outside truck with that Jax Duvall group. Ferdiani fading back. That's a lot of trucks right there. That's a lot of speed. Last lap, they did a 50.03. Those were the fastest trucks on the track.
Yeah, they are about almost a second faster than that group up front. Only 2 trucks now. It's Mailhot and Swingle. They do have help from Fox, but Fox not in the lead lap with them. But that they're going to take any help they can get right now and hope they can pick up a few more stragglers along the way. I think they're going to run that fuel tank dry. Again, I like that strategy. They might be able to get that time back just taking fuel, because they don't need to take very much fuel, me and Gene. They don't need to take a fuel tank or a full tank. They could likely get this done with 1 gas can. That could save you exponential time. So we're going to have to keep our eye on that. Up front, Jax Duvall would cycle to the lead if this group cycles in front, but that is up for debate, as Kevin Kyle and Alex McCord have been giving them a real hard time battling for the lead of this group. And look at Kevin Kyle getting that big run on the outside.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle, he's been up front but hasn't quite made it all the way through the crowd. Now it's his time, though, as he tries to make that run. Of course, they're still waiting on Mailhot and Swingle to take their pit. Little bit of 3 wide there. You can see Lynott now stuck in the middle, Jaron Valley on the outside. That's Volpus and Brenner on the inside of that 3 wide group, 4 deep into this run. Valley with the lead. McWhorter pushing him in that center lane. Also, George Jewell, he's in that white 36 truck. Bottom lane, still committed down there. Jax Duval looking for some help. Outside lane, though, finally starting to put it together. Not a lot of friends here. We're going to go 4 wide.
Oh, that's not. Oh!
Wow.
And we have a car on its lid.
Yeah.
The 36 flipping.
Oh, my.
Oh, me, oh, my. George Jewell.
That's George Jewell there. He's going to tow. Go ahead and hit the tow button.
Let's take a look at what went wrong here, me and Gene. Horrible situation, and that could have blown the playoffs wide open. Let's keep our eye on Lynott when we take a look at this replay. I mean, if you wanted some entertainment, keep your eye on the 36 because he's going to space, whether or not he works for NASA. Here we go. So 4 wide again. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know when these guys are going to learn. But Lynott going to get shot down straight up into the 36. Massive hit for White, one of the fastest trucks all day, likely out of this race. Lynott may have been saved by the bell, and look who else is in that Jaron Valley, and that 36 is destroyed.
Well, that's a stunt move I saw in the Fall Guy, Lee Majors, back in 1984. Just kind of ride on the left side of the tires on the wall. I'm surprised he's not flipping.
Oh, he's going to. He's going
there
to,
you go.
Don't worry.
That's 33-degree banking right there, Zach. I mean, you
that
gotta.
looks very natural.
Yeah, that's not a problem. There it
is.
is. You know what? I'm looking at the smoke coming out of the cockpit. You can't smoke while you're racing, dude.
That was probably the issue.
Now, how about this, though? Mailhot and Swingle, desperation. They were in the lead, but they were by themselves.
Yep.
And all the teams were catching them. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to get to come down. Not a problem. Re-rack them.
However,
Mailhot and Swingle got to be thrilled.
I don't know, me and Gene. I think, and one thing I was going to say before that happened, or literally right before, I don't think they wanted a caution because I don't think anyone else is going to pit with them. So I think they're going to go all the way to the back of the field here. They did not have anyone to lap down.
Well, that's better, though, than getting 8 and alive. They were were SOL, dude. Their lap times were like 4 seconds off the other cars. They were soon to be doomed.
Yeah, they definitely they were on borrowed time. They did have that shorter pit stop to their advantage, but that's gone now, me and Gene.
Does he got
that
tux
is no longer.
on?
Does he? He does.
Look at that. That guy looks sharp.
He could work for VRN. That's all he needs, a tux.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I have a picture in a tux. Wait a minute. I see what you did there. All right, so pits are open. Justin White in there. Here comes Rich Swingle. Mailhot as well. Going to take this opportunity. Bring it in the pit. There's Kyle Lynott, Stephen Neal, Paul Ferniani. So a few drivers going to go ahead and bring it down. You know, those that did not pit already. And a few that are just going to get a little bit more repair on their truck. I see Eric Gambrell down there as well. So guys getting a little bit of hammering done. I can hear the Sawzall, the duct tape, the hammering, getting her done. Up front, Kevin Kyle got to be feeling good. We're on lap number 66, taking this thing to 75. So only 10 laps remaining. Most of these guys, they pitted back on lap number 55, so they should have plenty of fuel. Other guys you look at, though, Benish and Buell, they pitted on 60. And then, hey, let's pit on 65. That would be Swingle and Gambrell. Go ahead and bring it down on this last little bit of mayhem. And they got 4 freshies, too. So we'll see if tires make a difference.
Yeah, we will definitely find out here. I mean, if you're definitely one of those guys that stayed out, no reason not to take tires. You're going to the rear of the field anyway, so it makes sense to take them then. And we'll see if it matters. And like you just alluded to, if you're Kevin Kyle, you've got to be feeling good right now. So good at this type of racing, has wins on plate tracks, and has poles on plate tracks, and knows how to get around here as a single car fast and knows how to take big pushes. And now, I mean, no one likes seeing their competition necessarily take it out, but I think a lot of guys have to be feeling better about their chances with people like Justin White and Jaron Valley dealing with very damaged race trucks now.
Yeah, and the other things that are going on, you know, Kyle Lynott won at Daytona. So he was in the driver's seat for the double up EV plus EV paint job, but now David Brenner, he finished second. He is currently being shown in fifth. So Brenner with a great chance here to get that paint job. Joe Vulpes finished third. He's fourth here. So kind of tied right there. Ogletree not here. Ogletree not here. Zach Engel, though, he's being shown a little bit further back. So Vulpes and Brenner looking really good as far as who is going to get the EV free paint job. Now, the other thing we're kind of looking at, what was that thing called again? Playoffs? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also looking at the playoffs, Kyle Lynott back in 27th with his 4-point lead over Jake Johnson, who's being shown in 15th. If things ended the way they are right now, it would be Jake Johnson sneaking up and stealing that spot away from Kyle Lynott. Stephen Neal, he had that 14-point lead. He's in 26th right now, and he might need those bonus points to make sure that he is going to sneak through to that next round. But Lynott really on the hot seat, especially Jake Johnson been showing up in the top 15 pretty much all day. Other driver trying to make it happen, that's Alex McWhorter, but he started really behind the 8 ball. McWhorter was 15 behind Lynott and 11 behind Jake Johnson.
Yeah, and we talked about the risk of being someone like Kyle Lynott, only having a 4-point cushion. Yep. Oh, man.
He would tie Jake Johnson if things ended right now.
Oh, wow.
McWhorter and Jake Johnson would actually tie for the 12th spot if everything finished, and it would be Kyle Lynott on the outside looking in.
So we'd be sending them both to the playoffs. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
and Kevin Kyle right there for a win here. That would be huge for Kevin Kyle, whether or not it gets him in the playoffs. But here we go, me and Gene. It's going to be 12 to go this time when we cross the start-finish line. Got a obligatory, or whatever the word would be there, remind them where the start-finish line is. Further down. Stretch.
Oh, I know. This is my home track right here. Oh, man. This is my home track. Are you kidding me? I've been to 25 freaking Talladega
fun fact there,
in my life. Yeah. All right, here we go. Pace car out of the way. Kevin Kyle, he is the control car on the inside lane. Outside lane, Jax Duvall. Away we go. Good jump. Gonna bring the 15 of McWhorter with him. David Brenner as well. Third truck on the inside. Then you got David Owens. Then you got Jaron Valley. Outside lane, Duvall getting a little bit of help from Joe Vulpes, but gonna fall back to the third row. Outside lane, not making it work. No help after Vulpes. Inside lane, Kevin Kyle, and then the Gulf Coast boys, McWhorter, Brenner, Owens. Outside lane, still can't get it together. Inside lane, 7 strong. All the way back to Zach Williams. First time I've seen Zach Williams in the 89 down on the apron. It's crunch time, though. Why not do it? We're on lap 68. Only 8 laps remaining here at the Plus EV Paints. The big one at Talladega 200.
More often than not, when you see that type of jump that Kevin Kyle got, you'll see the outside lane, that time led by Jax Duvall, come up with a massive run through the backstretch. But like you said, just not enough help. Too many trucks bailing to the bottom there, and that run never materialized. So now you have Vulpes giving huge pushes to Jax Duvall, trying to make that outside line work, but they are not quite presented with as many numbers as the inside has right now. And Kevin Kyle doing an amazing job taking those pushes from McWhorter, but you're seeing how far back in the field the pushes are occurring now.
All the way back to 10 back, 2 wide. Meanwhile, other people were watching. Jake Johnson still in 14th. Kyle Lynott, 24th, trying to make it work with the boys in the back, but nobody has the momentum or the truck. So Lynott gonna need to find new teammates and start to cut through traffic. First truck trying to make it 3 wide. You can see on the outside there. Oh, looks like that's Rich Swingle trying to make it. No help. David Buell's going to zip on by. Going to force Rich to fall back into line. Now it's Benish looking to the outside, trying to make it 3 wide. David Buell says, I'll go with you. If Rich will get up there, they might have a chance. Here we go. Getting exciting now. Another truck jumping out to the outside lane. I think that might be Novella.
Looks like actually that could be. Yeah. And you see, up front, things are getting a little bit messy, and it's really just all to play for right now, and there is no more patience being shown by anyone. That outside line starting to, and I'm talking about that third one, starting to materialize, currently being led by actually Chris Smith. First time we've really seen Chris Smith making big moves today, but waiting for the perfect time to do it in that Dr. Pepper Chevrolet right there. And in the middle, someone that we haven't seen, or something we've seen all day, I should say, David Owens pushing Vulpes now, trying to make that middle line work, because Duval has made it all the way to the bottom, and he is now in front of Kevin Kyle.
Trying to materialize. Chris Smith getting a push now. That looks like the 56 of Novella, then AJ Binish, and then Buell. But with only 4 trucks, great difficulty. Middle lane, Joe Vulpes with his teammate Owens. Got a good run going. Inside lane, Duval, though, getting the help from Kevin Kyle. We're 3 wide, 4 trucks back. But that inside lane looking strong. Middle lane battling. This thing is still wide open, Zach. That's the end of 71. We still got 4 laps to go.
Speaking of wide open, so is the chase. Kyle Lynott is up to 15th place. He is in the middle lane right there, really in the thick of it. Really can't afford anything to happen as Nick Mills and David Owens having a hard time negotiating up front. But right now, Lynott looks to be back in the chase. We saw him in that last wreck. He was able to fix that truck enough to be able to keep the draft, and he's doing what he has to do, hoping to keep this thing clean and green as him and the 32 nearly get into each other, and that is who he's worried about.
Exactly. This is good racing all the way around as we see playoff implications, free paint jobs, and bragging rights on the line here. Look at this, still 3 wide, 8 trucks deep. This is insane.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Mean Gene, this is absolute insanity. People creating lines where they don't exist. Everyone going for it, and the pushes are insane. Look at Mills and Owens. Those two cannot figure it out, and Vulpes is not getting the pushes he needs in the middle right now to do anything, and it is just Mills doing what he's done all day today, which is just being ultra aggressive. And here we go, Mean Gene. This thing is down to the nitty-gritty. The pay window is open. Jack's the fall doing what he has to on the bottom, and here comes Chris Smith on that top.
And finally, Sam Milliken is committed now to following very closely to Nick Mills, something he was not willing to do earlier. Now he feels like he has to do it. Owens leading that middle lane. Vulpes, the 2 championship contenders, side by side. Inside lane getting a push from Duval. Middle lane getting a push from Nick Mills. Here comes that outside lane, though. Chris Smith trying to get his team on. Little wiggle. Buell touches the wall, and that's going to make that outside lane lose a lot of its momentum. Chris Smith trying to side draft, but look at as they hit that backstretch, what happens for that inside lane. Oh, and there goes Milliken. He doesn't mind. He's peeking up in the third lane.
Oh, we're wrecking. We are wrecking. And if there's Lynott in it again.
No.
Lynott is in it, and so is Jake Johnson. And now it is open, potentially, for someone like Graham McGivern, Edward Peltz. What can they make happen? We'll take a look at what happened. And McCorder, you're right. McCorder has been up front all race. All right, let's take a look here. We'll keep our eyes on Lynott here. I'll try to get us the best angle I can. Oh, that's too far away. Yeah, indeed. Here we go. And there is Lynott on the outside. He has Lewis into the middle, and you see the 46.
What is that?
Oh, man, I think got shoved out trying to re-enter the track, and that's Gambrel right there. Something tells me that this might be where it all starts. Oh, that's Wayne Newman. My bad. Wrong 46. That's so confusing. Oh, and then you see Jake Johnson come up into Lewis.
Lee.
Back down. Oh, man, and Kyle Lynott, I think, will be an innocent bystander in this one.
Look out, Louie.
Oh,
look at Louie. Oh, you know he's happy. Johnson,
big hit.
Right.
Big hit for Johnson. Huge hit for Johnson.
Yep, that front right.
Yep, there he is.
Little stake.
There's Lynott just getting beaten up.
And Lynott looks okay. He's just sliding.
I will tell you, more often than not, Kyle Lynott is like a cat. Dude has like 9 lives in races like this.
Look at that, and away he goes.
Well, we're going to overtime, Mean Gene.
Overtime. Well, that was exciting. Stephen Neal with his 14-point lead right now. He's being shown in 21st place, so he's happy. He's content. Finish in the middle or up. You're going to be good. Meanwhile, Jake Johnson back in 29th, definitely going to need to bring this thing into the pits to just take a little look and see what exactly he's dealing with. You mentioned Kyle Lynott. Lynott is going to be up in 25th. And sure enough, pits are open.
And he's going to look to get it fixed.
Yeah, here comes Lynott, and here comes Jake Johnson.
All right, so that keeps things a little bit more simple. But a few of these drivers...
Look at Alex McWhorter. He's like, hey, boys, y'all are broke. Just stay in there.
Yep. McWhorter currently running in 7th place.
Y'all are done.
Yeah, it's like, just let me take this chase spot right here. McWhorter has a win this season. He loved to take part in the chase. He knows he can win. He knows that championship would be possible.
Yeah, but he's 15 all on the line. Back. He's 15 back of Lynott.
So he's going to need...
and 11 back of Jake Johnson.
He's going to need better than 6th, I think, me and Gene. And he's going to need worse. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Lynott and Jake Johnson will be running in 27th and 28th. If they're not able to do anything about that, it's going to be possible for Alex McWhorter. We'll have to see.
No, if he wins, he can say he did everything he could.
Yep. And then up front, it is Gulf Coast City.
Yeah, look at Joe Vulpes up there, but Vulpes, he is needing to beat his teammate Owens by 10 spots if he wants to get anything done. Remember, Owens has already led laps, as has Vulpes. So neither one of them took the pole. So basically, it's going to come down to straight up. Vulpes needs to beat him by 11 positions if he wants the championship. I ain't saying that's beyond the realm of possibility. We watched McWhorter spin David Owens, and David Owens went from 1st to 18th just a couple of weeks ago. So things happen.
They do. They indeed do.
Things happen. All right, so here we go. I'm looking at Lynott rolling again. So he's out of the pit. Appears to be back on the straight and narrow. There's Ferdiani going to come out of the pits as well. Stephen Neal, we're waiting to see if he can get her rolling. Yep, here he comes. Justin White still being shown in the pit.
Where is Jake Johnson? Is he still in the pits? He is.
Oh, I think it's worse than that.
Oh, no. It is.
Oh, no. I think Jake Johnson might be broke.
So Jake Johnson will not be going to the chase either.
Oh, what a way for it to end. A little bit of net code.
Can't say he didn't go down swinging.
No, he was fighting it the whole way, but you just hate to see it. Newman pulled the parachute, got loose, or was forced loose in that air, ends up going behind under the apron, and when he comes up, the two just got a little bit too close. Net code sucks him up, right? Hits Lewis, takes them up into Lynott. Unfortunate end of the day for Jake Johnson. Hell of a year for Jake, and this is not going to be the last time we're talking about the 32 Ford.
Yeah. So, Mean Gene, I'm going to tell you right now who I like to win this race and who I have my eye on. And it's that number 1 of Kevin Kyle. And the reason why is because, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd bet my bank account that Joe Vulpes is going to move to that inside lane on this restart, and that him and Duvall and Owens are going to try to work together until the white flag, and then they're going to try to figure it out amongst themselves. However, the part about that it's easy to forget about is that's going to give the lead of the outside lane to Kevin Kyle. And all he has behind him is more trucks that want to push forward that outside lane and then do the same thing that Gulf Coast is hoping to do here. So keep your eye on that in and out machine of Kevin Kyle, Sam Milliken behind him, even Graham McGivern behind Milliken. Behind them is Brenner. And then also we're going to be keeping our eye on the 15 of McWhorter, the 98 of Lynott, and obviously Vulpes and Owens.
I think for me, I'm looking at the best blocker in running back style for football, and that's going to be Nick Mills. I think Nick Mills is going to come in there like a wrecking ball. Things are going to happen, and if you look behind him, there's Alex McWhorter. And I think McWhorter has a great opportunity if he can follow that front bumper of Nick Mills to stick to that apron and maybe get through there and sneak in a dub. So I'm going to keep an eyeball on McWhorter. we'll just see what happens. All right,
Look at
this
that.
car is off. Yeah, it's already gapped up pretty big. Vulpes rolling it slow. Plenty of room before the Geico restart zone.
He's coming down.
Outside lane having problems. Ooh, and away we go. He waited till the last second. Great craftiness there by Vulpes. Not getting away at all, though.
No.
Look at Kyle up in his backside. You can also see Duval not going anywhere. Milliken having a little trouble. 3 wide. You can already see McGivern getting pushed out of it. Unfortunate there for McGivern in that 33-4. Meanwhile, battle continues. You can see Duval battling down on that apron. Outside lane. Owens,
3 wide.
Looking for some help. Milliken making it 3 wide. Brenner sneaks it right in. Here we go. Nick Mills, third truck on the inside, pushing Owens and Duval. Vulpes getting a little bit of help from Kevin Kyle in that middle. McWhorter committed to the apron. Brenner getting the push there. But
here
goes Owens. Owens wants a win. Championship, regular season championship. Not enough. Here's David Owens. This is it. This race is going to be official. Now, let's keep an eye. Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, Vulpes is in trouble. Owens is in it.
Wrecking.
Who survived that? It looks like Alex McWhorter may have. Chris Smith looks to have survived it as well. Yes, it's Smith in the lead now on the inside. Alex McWhorter looks to be leading the outside lane. It's Swingle pushing Smith. Swingle looks to the outside. He's going to get a push from McWhorter here. McWhorter has a chase right in front of him. Oh!
Gambrell hits the truck in front of him, comes up, takes out McWhorter.
Swingle versus Novella.
Swingle, Rich Swingle, you counted him out. What were you thinking? The number 97. Here comes Novella with some momentum. But the 97 of Rich Swingle bringing it around the tri-oval. Novella looking to the outside.
No, it's Swingle. It's Swingle.
Wow.
What a win for Rich Swingle. That is awesome. Congratulations.
Out of nowhere, the 97 gets it done. Rich Swingle. They are celebrating down in his pit stall as the Ford driver taking the win here today. Amazing. Matt Novella going to bring it home in second. Adam Mailhot, the sharp-dressed man, going to bring it home in third. Good for him. That was some exciting racing right there at the end. I can't believe how that thing ended. Rich Swingle, Matt Novella, Nick Mills actually going to be shown in third. Adam Mailhot going to be fourth. Edward Peltz, great run by Eddie, going to bring home that number 7 in fifth place. Sixth place going to be Zach Williams.
It's so unofficial right now, me and Gene. They are still crossing the start-finish line.
They got it. We're done.
Do they? Okay, because I was going to say, I still see guys in 10th crossing the start-finish line. Mm-hmm. What I can see, though, very much of note, is I think Kyle Lynott has done what he has to do to go to the chase.
Yep, Kyle Lynott, I'm looking there, and it looks like he finishes in 11th.
That's what I'm seeing as well. McGivern 9th. Peltz looks to have actually been credited for 5th.
Yep, I got Peltz in 5th.
Okay,
hey,
then we got
Tim Darby 12th. Let's go. Wayne Newman 13th. Tommy Fox 14th. Look at that. Louis in 15th. Justin White, falls back to 16. That's no bueno.
And then Vulpes looks like he's going to come home in 19th, while his championship competitor of Owens will be in 25th. So that likely will not be enough.
Look at Gambrell. Man, that dude had a chance to win it. Ended up making contact up front with another truck and come right up into McWhorter, ending both of their opportunities at the win. Unfortunate break for the rookie there.
Yeah, McWhorter, he had the chase right there in front of him. He was running in about 4th place. I think that would have been enough, and wasn't meant to be. Oh, man, what a chaotic finish that was.
You got to love it. Pfeiffer going to be a lap down in 30th. Jake Johnson, 5 laps down. Hey, Ryan battled, man. Ryan Newman, he stayed out there and battled six laps down, but he took that damage early on, able to keep that thing going.
Never giving up.
Ryan Newman, you can't give up, because a few more cautions, you sneak right back up into this thing, especially if a wave around can get a lot of those guys in front of you out of the way. They need a whole lot less lucky dogs. Oh, what a battle there at the end. I mean, we knew it was going to be something. 34 trucks here battling. You knew it was going to be something amazing. And there it is, Rich Swingle just taking home that dub. Lots of excitement in
and there
Discord.
it is. Lenot does it. It is official, Manjin.
I'm pushing the wrong keyboard, wondering why I'm not getting any results. I'm pushing my laptop keyboard.
So Owens is going to be the regular season champion. And the 12 drivers who will be racing for the BRL Season 12 Championship are going to be David Owens, Joseph Vulpes, AJ Benish, Matt Novella. Looks like that's Justin White. Sorry, I have just horrible writing, right? Or horrible pixelation here. Nick Mills. And then who's in between White and Bueller? Zach Engel, I apologize. So Buell and Engel will be going, as well as you just read the rest of them for us. Nick Mills we got. And then Zach Williams going to get the 8th spot. And it looks like it's going to be Brenner in 9th. Stephen Neal in 10th. Matt Schofield in 11th. And Kyle Anant rounding out the 12-driver field, racing for a championship. And real quick, Smoke and Joe, hit that replay screen. So I got a treat for you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh.
Let's go see what exactly happened here to finish this race. And I think I'll keep my eye on Owens because I know he was in this. And it looks like it was just all types of disorganized here. And coming together there, it looks like it's Brenner and Vulpes. And then actually, and also hearing there was some chain reactions. And oh my gosh, up to space goes Jacques Duvall. Oh man, he's not the only one.
Look at that one.
Oh, Kevin Kyle also. Kevin Kyle felt left out.
He's riding the rail.
Oh my God, look at that grind.
In car.
So let's see.
Back. Yeah, let's go in car with Kyle once he hits that rail. That's special.
Let's see how this starts, first of all. And yeah, there it is. It's Novella and Kyle coming together. And here is the view from Kevin Kyle, or Tony Hawk, should we say.
Here we go. I love Jaron Valley thinks he can get around it. He's like, I'll just.
Oh.
What an angle.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Does it ever end?
Does
it just end up there? Oh my. Vulpes getting destroyed. Oh, there goes Kyle. Car's just disappearing.
What's the line from Ricky Bobby? I'm upside down.
Oh man. So then we have Maurer and Novella.
You think it's
Swingle,
over?
Gambrel, and Chris Smith. And no, yeah, we are not done. I'll go real speed here. There's the race-winning move by Swingle right there.
Yep. Yeah, look at the 46. That's the orange truck of Eric Gambrel. Closing that gap really rapidly.
Yep, big run here from Gambrel. What is Smith going to do about it? Also, they are not lined up whatsoever. A late move by Gambrel.
Like, I can go down and make it 3. Wow, that's your bumper.
Yes, it is. And then, collects McQuarter. That's how close McQuarter was to making the chase right there.
Look at that. They're rear to rear.
That's cute. That's really that's romantic. And then that is the rest of the field just driving through casually. What a mess. Me and Gene. All right. Just wanted to show that to everybody real quick. That was fun.
Gotta love that. All right. So our 12 people have been established as far as the playoffs go. Eddie Peltz, first guy on the outside looking in. We'll kind of keep track of as well of those drivers that didn't make the playoffs and just see who can accumulate the most points through this playoff run. Of course, 2 rounds of elimination, 2 races in each round. Going to be at Charlotte. First of all, that'll be the first race here in the round of 12, and then Homestead. So a couple of different tracks. You got the intermediate with Speedway implication, Charlotte, and then Homestead. Nice flat track to just give people a lot of trouble. Nashville afterwards. David Owens already printing up T-shirts that say 2025 Nashville champion. And then Texas, where that with the drafting on that track, that thing's just ridiculous. And Chicagoland, everybody loves a good mile and a halfer. So great lineup of racing here, great tracks. Don't really see anybody that's my favorite per se. You have to love the lead that Owens and Vulpes got. AJ Benish has had a couple of off races. You know, he was so hot for the longest period of time. And I really thought AJ, 3 wins on the season, thought he was going to be the guy, but he's kind of backed off, took it easy. But, he might be Joey Logano in this thing. You don't want to. You never want to count out a guy like AJ Benish.
No, that would be a mistake to do such. So I will definitely have my eyes on Benish as well. Really, it's been since Iowa, so last week. But we haven't seen the characteristic speed out of Benish that we're so used to.
No.
But like you said, Iowa was a struggle for him, almost going a lap down on speed in that race. But Benish really able to turn it on whenever he needs to. And also, I really like that set of 5 tracks for a driver like him. Owens loves those tracks. Really, all these guys do. And what sticks out to me in this group of 12 is just how stacked they are. Any of these guys capable of winning a championship, and several of them past champions in the BRL and the MRL.
Yeah, you look down there, David Brenner, that's a guy that's been in Final Fours before. Matt Schofield making the playoffs with 2 less races than the others. Brenner doing it with 3 less races. So you're going to have to just kind of watch and see what happens. And then the wild card, the Maverick, Nick Mills, he made it. And so if he can power his way through the first couple of rounds, that's definitely a guy you're going to have to keep an eye on, that number 20 of Nick Mills. Exciting racing here tonight, live on the Vortex Racing Network. Such an amazing race, watching Rich Swingle pulling it home, getting his first win on the year. Rich, he always seems to pull out a win in every series I see.
Yeah, Rich Swingle, one of those guys that if you participate in enough races and you run out front as much as he is able to, especially at these type of tracks, those wins, they come to you. And Swingle has definitely got himself a handful of them, and he deserves every single one. That was such a hard rep to get through, and that 97 was able to, and then showed even more patience down the stretch on that last lap to take home the win. So congratulations to Rich Swingle. Awesome job by him.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's like, all right, Rich, I'm going to start 3 races and win one of them, Swingle.
Yes, sir. You know that all too well.
That's like, he beat me in points with that race. Golly gee, Rich, why you do me? I lose another spot in the points. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a great action here on the Vortex Racing Network. Of course, tomorrow the racing will continue as the DDI Truck Series going to be in the second race of the playoffs. Believe it's going to be Kansas. Is that right, Zach?
Third race, and yes, you were right at the track.
1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, so the boys will be at Kansas. Of course, that race will be a rebroadcast right after they finish, and you can catch the action broadcast there by Zach Panzarella, Dalton Geyer, and Johnny Replay. So lots of action, as you see here on the schedule, 5 nights a week on the Vortex Racing Network. That is going to wrap us up, though, for here today. Big Trucking Tuesday, wrapping up our regular season number 12, regular season in the books. Next week, the boys will do battle at Charlotte to see who will get that advantage. Congratulations, of course, David Owens, the regular season champion, and congratulations to Rich Swingle with the win. And all boys. And this just in, breaking news. Breaking news. David Buell gonna get a free paint job. Number 52. I wonder what brand of Marlboros we're going to see. We've seen the menthol. We've seen the black. I haven't seen Marlboro Lights.
That's true.
Right?
That's the question that we're all asking is what brand of Marlboros you're going to get, and we get to
you
find
might get
out
the white and kind of yellowish. I don't know. Who knows? Or,
maybe a throwback.
You know what he ought to do? He ought to do a nicotine patch. Or nicotine gum. Nicotine gum.
I'm here for that.
That would be a good message to everybody out there. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, Three Wide in the booth, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe, our sponsors, of course, plus EV Paints here today, the big one at Talladega 200, LeagueNewsWeekly.com, KK Woodscapes, all of our admins who make this thing possible. It's been our pleasure. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night from Kansas as the DDI Racing League continues their playoff run. As always, ladies and gentlemen, bottoms up and hammer down.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies.